Now, South Africa is experiencing a sharp increase in identity-related fraud, a trend that's becoming a silent crisis for small businesses as the country focuses on rebuilding its economy, especially after a string of high-profile cyber incidents and a cost of living crisis. Many SMEs are being quietly targeted by fraudsters. Product owner at Expert Decision Systems, Vic Esterhuizen, joins us for more. Vic, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, with this sharp increase in identity-related fraud, perhaps expand on the impact of leaked personal data and AI-generated content like deep fakes.
Yes, identity fraud is evolving and escalating because criminals now have access to vast amounts of stolen data and advanced tools like the deep fakes that you mentioned. And they construct identities as well using AI. In South Africa, for example, there's been a 400% increase in identity theft and a 337% rise in impersonation fraud in just 1 year. Criminals are getting smarter and faster. Businesses can't afford to be relaxed about this critical issue.
In fact, perhaps break down a little bit for our viewers who may not be aware what a deep fake essentially is.
A deep fake is when the criminal uses AI and takes a video and takes another face and puts it on top of that video. And then he can make that new face talk like the new person that he wants it to talk, and he can fool the public to think that this is the actual person talking. So where you would see a normal person on the video, you see this other face on that, and it's talking in the language and the expression of a normal person. So that's why they call it deep fake, because it intimidates or it implements the face as well as the voice.
And with that, of course, that builds up on some of the common fraud types affecting SMEs. I mean, we've seen so many of these deep fakes where, promises of quick riches and pyramid schemes are being advertised with the pretense that people will really benefit.
That is correct. So the SMEs have the problem. They don't always have the ability to get the high-end security measures that the big corporates have. So the criminals like to target the SMEs, and when they find there's a loophole, then they can carry on committing a crime by the SMEs, which obviously affects them financially, and the customers also lose trust in the SME after a while.
And what do you think people should be looking out for? I mean, as we speak about deep fakes, for one, I can tell you that deep fakes of people on the news, like myself, are circulating, and some people are fooled to believe that they are real. How does one spot that what they're viewing is in fact not real?
You've got to be very observant and try and analyze it, especially with when the person's busy talking. Have a look at the lip sync, how the person's talking, but also use a bit of logic in the sense that would your CEO, for example, send you a video and instruct you to make a payment to some account that you haven't got on your books and it's not in the company at all. So you've got to be that vigilant approach. The criminals have, for example, they've got a tool called fraud as a service, and that fraud as a service requires no programming knowledge. So a person, they can commit digital fraud quite easily. Just by using these templates, and obviously the criminal also has the advantage that if he has 20 people working for him committing fraud, then he gets a cut of all the financial benefit that this person has. So we really got to be aware and be on the guard.
Yeah. Absolutely. What do you believe to be some of the consequences of identity fraud for victims?
Well, the victims itself would definitely have the challenge that if their identity has been stolen, then they would immediately have or could have a financial loss, depending on what the criminal is using the identity for. And if you could be blacklisted as an example, and that would create a challenge for you, because it also creates a lot of stress, having to clear your name afterwards, and the criminal might walk away with a financial benefit, and you have to go and fight. Let's say it's by a financial institution, you then have to go and fight by the financial institution to be able to say you've just been scammed.
So, as a result, and how technology is moving, why are passwords, ID documents, and manual reviews obsolete?
Well, with AI, it's easier for criminals to hack passwords or to fake identities.
Yeah.
So criminals create incredibly realistic identities that look legitimate. So we mentioned the deep fakes, where they can fool you, but they can also make the actual identity document using AI. And the processes happen fast. So criminal, if you've got a password, for example, and it's a short password, they can hack it very quickly. So you need to keep in mind to look for the longer passwords, which I know is painful to always remember, or to use the special characters, but it's for our own good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. We're going to wrap that discussion with product owner at Expert Decisions, Vic Esterhuizen.